Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is me, Sumaira Salim. You're watching this TV USA. Let's see what's happening in the world. Department of State spokesperson Ned Price is holding his news briefing.
Efforts to strengthen countries' capacity to protect their populations and to also account for past human rights violations and abuses, including in Colombia and Guatemala. The new strategy institutionalizes whole-of-government processes by enumerating roles and coordination mechanisms of our interagency atrocity prevention task force. Many atrocities are the result of deliberate planning over time and can be prevented. If we can detect early the early warning signs of atrocities, we can also act early to disrupt the path of deadly escalation. The strategy recognizes that a key aspect of response and recovery is justice for survivors and victims and prosecution of those responsible for atrocities. This approach informs our work within the United Kingdom and the European Union through the Atrocity Crimes Advisory Group to assist the Office of the Prosecutor General of Ukraine. In addition, the United States is supporting a range of efforts to detect and document human rights abuses or violations of international humanitarian law, which can be used by national and international accountability mechanisms. This includes the Conflict Observatory Program, which captures, analyzes, and makes publicly available open source information that documents evidence of atrocities committed by Russia's forces in Ukraine. Together, the report and the strategy reinforce our enduring commitment to call out, condemn, and bring justice to bear against the perpetrators of humanity's most heinous crimes and to prevent those crimes from being perpetrated in the first place. And finally, tomorrow and Wednesday, Secretary of State Blinken and Secretary of Commerce Raimondo will co-host a supply chain ministerial forum to work with partners to reduce both short-term bottlenecks and long-term supply chain challenges that hurt all Americans, especially working families. Supply chain disruptions hamper economic growth and they fuel inflationary pressures. The ministerial forum builds on the Summit on Global Supply Chain Resilience that President Biden held in October of last year with the European Union and over a dozen countries.
White House Press Secretary Karen Jean-Pierre is holding her briefing.
Was a kitchen table issue, has elevated easing price pressures as his top economic priority. We economists think of this in terms of inflation, inflationary expectations, interest rate changes, a vast array of complicated concepts and measurements. But the fact is that it comes down to affordability and the need among American households for a bit of breathing room in making ends meet. Therefore, we're very happy to report the
going back to starting with your last question first, and Jared basically touched on this, which is we have to remember in early June, OPEC Plus, which is Saudi Arabia clearly chairs OPEC Plus, made that announcement that we welcomed about increasing their production 50% in July and August. The conversations that the president had in Saudi Arabia in the bilateral meeting that he actually read out, as you all know, in a press conference that same Friday in Jeddah. They talked about energy securities, and Jake Sullivan actually said this as well, is that we will measure success in the next couple of weeks. We anticipate to be an increase of production, but again, it's going to take the next couple of weeks, and that will be
Officials in India are providing an update one day after a gunman killed 3 people and injured 2 others at Greenwood Park Mall. According to authorities, the gunman was fatally shot by an armed brass offender as soon as he began firing at the mall.
From many agencies, I have been involved over the course of my career in multiple multi-agency, both federal, state, and local training efforts and active shooter trainings, many of them at the Greenwood Park Mall. We work out the problems in those trainings so that when it counts like it did last night, we have all of these agencies coming together just like they did, working seamlessly, working together for a common purpose, everybody knowing their role, and last night was a true testament that training pays off. Behind me, I have Herb Stapleton, Special Agent in charge of FBI, Agent in charge of the ATF, Josh Watson, Lieutenant from the Indiana State Police, Commander Ron Hicks from IMPD, Sheriff Dwayne Burgess from the Johnson County Sheriff's Office, Fireman Chad Tapman from the Greenwood Fire Department, and Coroner Mike Pruitt. That being said, I'm going to turn this over to the coroner for just a moment so that he can talk to you more about the victims. Then I will get back up and give you some specifics on what we know about the shooter, the Good Samaritan, and the events that occurred last night. Coroner.
Thank you, Chief. Johnson County.
Turkey is an independent state not bound by any condition. Turkish Defense Minister, Turkey's purchase of F-16 fighter jet from the U.S. continues despite recent legislation by the U.S. House speaking to the media. Turkish Defense Minister Hulusi Akar said that U.S. military officials are aware of this. They know about our work and we have been openly expressed our views in all our consultation meetings. Turkey is a strong state. There is no room for a condition between us that say, I will give you this, but you will not do that. The Middle East is currently the center of attention of major world powers. A few days ago, US President Joe Biden visited Saudi Arabia and Israel. While this week, Russian President Putin and Turkish President Erdogan will meet with the Iranian leadership in Tehran. Putin's visit of the atmosphere importance because it may help him reduce his international isolation. China's special envoy on Afghanistan Ambassador Yao Xing called on Foreign Secretary Suhail Mahmood. The two sides exchanged views on the political and security situation in Afghanistan, humanitarian assistance by Pakistan and China to Afghan, and other matters of mutual interest. In Islamabad, relaxation in business closing hours due to Eid al-Adha has been abolished. According to the Deputy Commissioner of Islamabad, the relaxation in business closing hours is ending today. The business community should close the business against at 9 p.m. The dining time in restaurants is till 11:30 p.m. In this regard, we will ensure the implementation of Section 144. He said that the business close hours were relaxed till July 18. That's all for now. Keep watching Desi TV USA or log into our website www.desitvusa.com.